Hi, I'm James Mitchell, editor of The Advisor, and welcome to another episode of One on One. Today we're joined by Tony Bice, mortgage broker and financial planner from Finance Made Easy. Well, thanks very much for taking the time, Tony.
No problems, mate.
So, Tony, you've been working in the financial planning space as well as the broking space for a few years now, quite a few years now. How has the move into financial planning actually improved your broking business?
Moving into the financial planning space is something that you need to consider carefully. I mean, it does come with a fair bit more work. But I guess the rewards at the end of the day are that you obviously create a couple more income streams, which is pretty important in your business. It increases the value of your business, and more importantly, it makes the client that much more loyal because of the different products that you've put in place with them. And I guess if you look at a home loan in isolation, everyone wants a home loan to get a home, but if you can cross-sell a product that complements the home loan, such as risk insurance, and then you can fund it in such a way that it makes it easy for the client to be able to afford as well as their mortgage instalment, then it just ticks the box. And when I first started thinking about the idea of getting into financial planning, I thought, where do I start? You know, I mean, I've just spent a number of years becoming a mortgage broker. Now I want to diversify. Do I have to go through all that heartburn again? And the answer is, yeah, you do. Nothing comes easy. But I think the secret to becoming a successful mortgage broker / financial planner is you've got to just get your process right, because you'll read in the magazines quite a lot that there's so much more work involved. There's compliance and there's this and there is all of that. But if you have your process in place and you have people working for you within your business, just like you do as a mortgage broker with a processor, then it can work.
So process management is obviously a big thing for you, and it's an important thing for all brokers running a successful business these days. Where do you actually acquire those skills, those process management skills?
The process management is critical, because without it, you'll sink. You do pick it up as you go along. I mean, I think to become a successful financial planner in your own right, let alone being a mortgage broker as well, you need to have the staff around you, and obviously a paraplanner is critical to my business. I simply do not have the time to put together a statement of advice every time I'm selling a risk plan to a client that I've just done their mortgage. So having a financial planner, a paraplanner is paramount. Also having a financial planning processor, just like you have a mortgage broking processor, if you have a financial planning processor, those two people, it's only two staff, and if you complement those two staff with your home loan processor, and then you sit back and focus on making sure your compliance is right, bringing the business in and having the resources around you to get to where you need to from a compliance point of view, then it works. But the process is critical. If you try and do it all on your own, you'll fail, and I've seen a lot of people fail.
So I've had a number of brokers over the last couple of weeks tell me that given all the market changes, they're going to be specialising in residential loans, they're not going to be diversifying. As a broker who has diversified, what would you have to say about that?
Specialising and just staying in home loan as a home loan writer, I mean, it's their prerogative, but at the end of the day, they're with the other 12, 13,000 mortgage brokers throughout the country. If you want to make your business more attractive when you get to the other end, the exit strategy, such as myself in 5 or 10 years' time, then I think it would be fraught with danger to go all through your career just focusing on one part of your model being a mortgage broker. The more strings that you can bring to the bow, that in time, when it's time for an exit strategy, the more attractive your model is going to be to sell. And if you've got two choices, I mean, I can remember years ago when the banks announced the initial slashing of upfront commissions back in the day. I remember speaking to a broker and I said, gee whiz, you know, they've just chopped 20 or 30 points off the upfront. What are you going to do? And his answer was, well, I think I'll just have to write more home loans. And that got me thinking. I thought, well, really? There's got to be a better way to bolster your income, strengthen your model, make it more attractive without having to work 24 hours a day. And that's when I came up with the idea that if you're diversified with the people around you to help you with your processes, and as far as that, you just learn. I mean, the more people you talk to that have done, as an example, the way I've got my model, the more you're going to learn. And it's just a matter of getting in place what works for you.
So I think succession planning is obviously going to be a very important thing for brokers moving forward. I think we're going to see a big generation of brokers looking to exit the industry. How do you think that's going to play out?
That's an interesting question. I think at the end of the day, when a mortgage broker gets to the time where it's time to exit the business, they'll have either had two chances throughout their career to end up with a saleable asset. It'll either be a mortgage broking book, which may be attractive to a whole stack of brokers, young brokers that want to buy it, and it'll be for a certain multiple. But if you've got the same mortgage book with the same clients and you have a risk book that goes hand in hand with your mortgage book, with a superannuation book that goes hand in hand with your risk and your mortgage book, as well as general insurance, and I'm a buyer, I know which one I'd buy. And I know which one's going to have more value, and I know which one is going to be more attractive to the young guns of today than are going to be looking at taking it over tomorrow. That's just a no-brainer to me. And like I say, I don't work any harder now than I did as a mortgage broker in isolation. I simply have worked my model to have the people around me so that I can do both sides of the business. Here you've got compliance and all that sort of stuff, but if you manage that, which you can, when you've got the right resources around you, and the right resources around you come from talking to people as you grow your model, and it just works.
Tony Bice, thanks very much.
Thanks very much.